During this meditation session, you will need to remain aware. The meditation process can lead to relief and will be used for the purpose of finding alternatives. The objective is to experience the relaxation response, while at the same time continuing to question. Choose a position that is comfortable, but not one that will lead you to indulge. You might wish to sit upright in a firm chair, stand leaning on a wall, kneel on the floor, or sit cross-legged. Find a comfortable position while I continue to talk for a few minutes. This script functions as a practice session of guided meditation. Once you are familiar with alternative social media, you will be able to stand on your own, unguided. For now, I would like to welcome you to the Fediverse. Repeat the word to yourself, Fediverse. Feel it wash over you as you leave behind those hours spent on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The scrolling of your fingers deconstructed, tracked, measured, and analyzed to exhaustion. Your intentions, eerily divined and exchanged for a profit, for commercial control, for political control. Your attention is yours again. Welcome yourself to it. Feel the air flowing in and out of your lungs as you realize that, in contrast to the centralized infrastructure of corporate social networks, the federated social web lives and communicates across a variety of servers running several types of open source software. Each software may run on as many servers, also known as instances, as there are communities willing to install and maintain them. Intercommunicability between these is achieved through the implementation of one or more communication protocols. To communicate, software projects need to share at least one communication protocol. Take time to acknowledge your thoughts and focus on the protocols. Diaspora, Zot, O-Status, ActivityPub. Now, take time to focus on some of the different available software. Prandica, Diaspora, Upzilla, PeerTube, Write Freely, Funkwhale, PixelFed, Pleroma, Mastodon. As you feel this new knowledge rushing through you, let it tingle your curiosity. You don't have to know what it all means just yet. Know that there is time. Give yourself this time to explore and see it all for yourself. Let's do an exercise. In your mind, place each Fediverse instance on a celestial body and watch as it floats around the universe of the different communities that make it up. Different communities create and maintain instances with their own set of rules and ideals. Users can thus choose not only which software, but also which instance best suits them. Who they trust. Stay with this word for a second. Trusts. Come to the realization that there are no easy answers to the privacy question. Inhale. Exhale. Try to find comfort in having some uncertainties and doubts. Unanswered questions unlock the way forward. Living across different servers, Data on the Fediverse is not controlled by any single giant. Users need to make sure they trust their instance to not compromise their information or security. Trust does have its limits, and there are always other, outside players involved. However, privacy needs much more than a technical fix, and the Fediverse communities respond to these concerns by developing social-based means of ensuring protection. This is how the radical potential of the federated social web expands beyond its technical infrastructure. Many of its earlier inhabitants, belonging to historically oppressed minorities, found within the federated social web a promising, safer alternative to corporate social media, whose scale and profit-driven business model will never offer enough protection to their most vulnerable users. Give yourself generously into this new idea while you take a couple of minutes to read some codes of conduct. Now, for just a moment, experience the shift. What has changed? It may not be flawless, and it changes per instance, but in principle, community-based moderation means you can be more involved and help establish a safer space. Stay for a moment with this search. Find a community that echoes your values. Then, bring your attention back to your breath. Your breath is an anchor you can return to over and over again when you become overwhelmed by this new information. Take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate that the development of the federated social web is an ongoing process, with many unanswered concerns, unsolved complexity, nuances, discussions, debates, and disagreements. As the existence of alt-right Mastodon instance gab.com proves, the federated social web is not an inherently emancipatory project. Are you still visualizing this universe of celestial instances with your mind's eye? Now challenge this universality. Who defined it? Openness has its limits. The Fediverse does not exist in a political vacuum. Sometimes instances may need to defederate and block others in order to protect the most vulnerable in their community and/or to enact their politics. If your mind wanders to thoughts, plans, or problems, simply notice your mind wandering. Watch the thought as it enters your awareness. You do not need to have all the answers, but you can contribute to finding them. Give yourself in to this new knowledge and let it stay with you as you go about the rest of your day.